Hello and welcome back to Bannerlord, and when we left off we were hunting down vassals. Oh yes, we were hunting down vassals, we were executing them as much as possible, and I have seen your comments, don't worry, I've seen them, and well, that's the thing. I kind of agree on the fact that I don't really want to be executing the honorable lords, but I also have to disagree because obviously I'm trying to reduce the combat strength that the Southern Empire has, and I just have no idea how I'm supposed to defeat these guys. But anyway, as you can see right here, Liena has actually given birth to another baby. I'm actually unsure. Well, I would assume this one looks like a girl, right? I have no idea. That's the thing. I'm attempting to right-click on these because apparently you can do that, and apparently that might actually show you what's going on. But maybe what I want to do is go into the encyclopedia. That might actually make a bit more sense. So let me actually just have a look here. Go into Barney's screen, and does it actually show his children? Yes, it does, but it just says child. Apparently Peta has -2 relation with us, which is actually hilarious. And yeah, so we've got Byron there, obviously, but they don't actually say what gender everything is. So I would assume that this is actually a girl, due to the default name that we have just received, basically. And I'm going to be naming her... I don't really have that many girl characters in my previous Warband series, with the exception of one, and I suppose I will call her this, Iceni. And then she will hopefully do a very good job like Iceni does, because she is just absolutely insane. Anyway, I'm actually going to go back to Flinthorn Castle for a second, because I'm thinking that maybe it would be a good idea to potentially defend it against that. Great. I was actually hoping I might be able to get there in time, but apparently I was a bit too slow. And I'm actually unsure what I can do here, because I might just have to leave. Let me actually just have a look here. Do they have a large army? That's the thing. They probably will. They'll probably have like 500 units or something like that. Oh, they actually literally have exactly 500 units. That is actually kind of amusing. I could head in there. What do they have? I don't think I can really tell that easily. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can do it. It's kind of annoying, really, because I would have loved to have been able to defend my castle once again against an overwhelming enemy and just gain a huge amount of cash, and then I won't have to worry about cash any further. I don't think I really need to worry about cash as it is, to be honest. But that's kind of a thing that I wanted to be a bit careful of. As you can see, it has been given to Regea. Okay, apparently she's got it now. And we are in a bit of a sticky situation here too, so I guess we'll just have to try our very best. And we're going to try and take this guy down. And yeah, also, a number of people have given me a suggestion, and I'm thinking that maybe we can make it work. I don't know whether it's actually possible, because if it is, it's fantastic. It's a very, very cool thing to think about, and I'm very much hoping that it is possible, but obviously because this is early access, I don't know whether that particular function is actually included in this version. But the point is that a couple of people suggested joining the Southern Empire after Vlandia potentially gets eliminated, because let's face it, we might very well have that kind of thing happen to us, because, I mean, let's face it, at the moment we're kind of in a pretty sticky situation, so I'm thinking that maybe that would be a good idea, where we join the Southern Empire, and then we attempt to sow discord among the ranks of the opponent. And I have actually just remembered that I did need to turn on the banners again, so yeah, there we go. Turned on the banners for our colorblind viewers. Ugh, don't know why why did I trip over my words right there? Anyway, point is, there you go. A little bit easier to see, especially for me as well. I mean, I wasn't really able to see that easily either, so it kind of does help me quite a bit. Oh, we're just charging straight on into these guys then, apparently, aren't we? Yeah, very much so. And I'm doing absolutely terribly with my units. So I'm just going to tell my other guys just to charge straight on in. Going to bring my cavalry out. It's just a small little hit and run attack right there, nothing too dramatic. And we will then be charging back in again in just a second. Wow, that guy's horse really took a massive amount of damage. And speaking of horses, the various horses that I have in my inventory, I have realized that a number of them actually are able to be equipped to my companions, and they were actually using things like, you know, desert horses and steppe horses and so on, and so, you know, all the somewhat low-tier horses. And I did not realize that they could actually use the better ones until very recently. So I have now given them much better horses, actual war horses this time around. So Imperial Charger and a number of others that are actually really, really good. So very happy about that. Could I actually get a kill? There we go. There's one kill. Thank you very much. That's all I really need. Just one kill per battle, right? Anyway, I'm very pleased that we are actually able to defeat this guy. We'll definitely take him prisoner. And again, as I said before, it might very well be the case where we just have to continue executing things if we want Valandia to stand any chance whatsoever. That's the thing. It's either we let every single person go. Obviously, at this point, it might be a bit too late, but generally, I was a bit unsure as to how to proceed in the game as a whole, because obviously this is the first time I'm playing it. It's a whole blind experience, and I'm just trying to, you know, have as much fun as possible, do as best as I can, and then see what happens. You know, just throw myself into the fire, kind of. And if I get burned, then, well, that's just how it goes. But the point is that I'm not entirely sure if I can now sow any seeds of discord within the realm of the Southern Empire, because if I am going to attempt to sow those seeds, it's going to be very difficult to do so because I have relation basically in the dumps. Every single piece of relation that I have is in the dumps. So I'm not entirely sure if I will be able to do that or whether it's even possible. That's the thing. I really don't know whether it's even possible. So we might try it. If that is even a possibility. I think it might be, because I don't know why you'd mention it if it wasn't. So I think that would be a lot of fun if we could actually make it work. But I don't know whether the game ends at that point, you see, because if the Southern Empire has completely taken over the entirety of the map and literally has nothing to worry about in the form of anyone, you know, challenging them in any way, shape, or form, then obviously it's going to be basically pointless if they do end up capturing everything and so on. But yeah, actually, I believe Pelisor actually got himself taken prisoner relatively recently, so I'm thinking that we might want to call him back. Yeah, Pelisor. I could kick him from the clan. I'm not going to kick him from the clan at this point. Let's just face it. I've spent way too long having Pelisor in my clan. And, I mean, just come on. Look at that face. How can you say no to that face, right? Yeah. Okay, well, whatever the case, what I am going to do is I'm actually going to say that Lise should stop doing her caravan. She is actually giving me... how much is she actually giving me? She's giving me 829 gold, which is actually quite amazing. And obviously she does have her own wages and all that stuff. So technically she's making us 500 gold per time that she uses to travel around. But of course, because everyone is at war with us now, she basically doesn't have anywhere to really go to. So I'm thinking that we might disband her party, get her back in the fold, so to speak, and then start buying a bunch of, well, enterprises, workshops, you know, whatever you want to call them. And this is where we currently are. This is really, really bad. Okay, so how's this guy doing? He's got minus 100 relation with us as well. Yeah, that's of course a bit of a thing there too. Anyway, let's see if I can make my way out of here. Bear in mind, Britannia is also running around with a very small amount of units. And there are a bunch of armies relatively close by. And I'm thinking... oh, Hongard! Hongard Castle, okay. Shall we maybe go over there? I think I might actually be going over there as we speak anyway, so we might just want to go and see what's going on. But what I want to do, actually, is go into Sargot. Oh, no. Right. Okay, apparently I'm not able to go into Sargot right now, so this is not great. Wow. They have a lot of high-tier troops. Do you see that at the top there? They've got a massive amount of really good troops. They've got legionaries, they've got sergeant crossbowmen, they've got those elites with them. They have... they've got some crazy stuff. They have some absolutely crazy stuff, so I won't be able to... Oh, hello. Oh, are you serious? Did I really disrupt them that much that they ran away? Wow. Okay, apparently Mr. Beartild has a bit of a reputation for being a beheading idiot, doesn't he? Yes, he's just beheading everyone that he can get his hands on, and that's exactly the reason why those guys ran away in such a swift manner, no doubt. Anyway, I'm going to just speak to this guy. The main reason why I do this is actually a small little shortcut that I have found is a little bit quicker to get me into the main area of the town. So you can see here, I'm already in the center of the town. Didn't have to run from the front gates or anything like that. So you can basically just speak to someone and then you're already here, which actually makes a huge amount of sense. And I'm going to go into the brewery here, see if there's some shopkeepers available. And we should be able to... speak to them. Yeah, I might not be able to speak to them in the nighttime. But now that it is daytime, I'm actually going to go to the dungeon and just donate a couple of prisoners here, because we actually have a huge amount of prisoners, as you can see. And I'm thinking we will try to get some of the higher tier units to join us, because some of them actually do have that potential. So let's get an Imperial heavy cavalry, sounds really fun. And not entirely sure whether I should use these mercenary crossbowmen or not. How good are these guys? They're not bad, but what is actually going on with these guys? Do you see their proficiency in crossbows? They're supposed to be crossbowmen, but they have 20 crossbow proficiency instead of, well, it seems like that's a bit of a that's a bit of an oversight, I suppose, on the developers side there. Unless these guys literally just use throwing skill, and they don't have crossbows, but they're called crossbowmen for some reason. I don't actually know, but why not? Let's recruit a couple of them. And is there anyone else that I can really take here? I could take some of these guys, but I'm not going to do that. So we'll just transfer everyone back. And someone has actually mentioned a very, very nice thing that we can do with our influence. And I just wish that I had accrued a little bit more influence over the majority of the time that I've been playing, because obviously influence, I wasn't really sure what it was intended for most of the time. I was kind of a bit, in the dark about it, because that's how it is. When you're playing blind, you don't really know, certain intricacies that these various resources will grant you, And the thing is, influence, what it can do is it can increase your relation with a variety of different people. And that is actually... Oh, I'm actually already buying... Okay, I'm actually already producing something here. All right, well, I could buy the other workshop as well, but I'm actually just going to leave it for the moment. But anyway, as I was saying, basically what you can do is you can go to the kingdom screen. Do I want to resolve the lawmaker's decision? Sure, why not? Okay, so what is this? All clans whose leader has high charm gain 1 influence, and all... Okay, has low charm lose. Okay, well... personally, I don't really mind. I really don't. Yeah, I mean, it's basically 100%. It is literally 100%. So we'll just do that. And we've increased our relation a little bit. Personally, I feel like doing laws and voting on laws and stuff like that is much better than spending your influence elsewhere. But just as a by-the-by and, showing you exactly how it's done, if you don't know, then you can go to the clan screen here and your kingdom screen, and then just basically be like, spend your own influence to increase the influence of the selected clan. In other words, you will gain some relation with these guys. So if, for example, boom, there you go. I did that for Death Art and his clan. Obviously, they hate me like no one's business. They've got minus 70 with me. But the thing is that you can improve your relation. And if I hadn't executed a bunch of people, then I think we might be in a pretty decent way at this point. But as it stands, that doesn't seem to be the case. So we're just going to make our way up here to the other fellow, and we'll see how many he has in his army. There's another army that has been created, and that is around here. Where is this? Oh, they're not at war against us anymore. Oh, that's... Okay, that's kind of weird. I was actually kind of surprised. Okay, I'm very surprised about that. Do you think I can actually take something without me having to do that? The Sturgians have declared war on the Vlandians. Well, that's not really going to make any difference. Sorry to tell you, but yeah, that is not really going to make any difference. Right. Well, I'm not entirely sure what to do now, to be fair, because I was actually going to go and join an army, and then maybe do a little bit of a siege, and see what's going on. Okay, I'm going to see what Heckard is actually doing in his army. So let's see what he's doing. He's traveling to Toby at the moment. Is there anything that you want to do there, sir? Is there anything that you want to do there that is particularly important? Because I somehow doubt it. Okay, he's recruiting a couple of people, and then he's going to be traveling somewhere else. Okay, well that's kind of interesting. not particularly interesting. And yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to think about being the most dishonorable that we possibly can, and I'm going to try and see whether I can declare war by myself. Oh, and Liena has actually now just become pregnant once again, so that is working in our favor quite nicely. But otherwise, let me see if I can... There's only 99 defenders here. Can I do anything? It doesn't seem like I can do anything. Can I attack this caravan? I could potentially attack this caravan. Let's see how it works. Let's see if I can reduce my relation on... Yeah, reduce my relation with the Southern Empire just a small amount. Hand over your goods or die. Yes, let's do it. Obviously, I'm going to lose relation like pretty hardcore here, but I'm doing this for a very specific reason. Because if it works the same way, my criminal rating is increased with the Southern Empire. Okay, well that's fine. I'm not fussed. I'm not fussed with that. I'm not fussed with that at all. Because generally, you know Barney. He generally tends to be very wonderful fellow when it comes to beheading people. He's just like, would you like to be beheaded? And then they're like, yes, please. And then we just get on with it, you know? That's generally how it goes. And obviously, it's all over a cup of tea, because how can you say no to a cup of tea? Yeah. Anyway, what's your favorite tea? Do you like tea? Let me know. Random question of the day. Great. Okay, so anyway, we're going to tell my cavalry to follow me as well. Where are the enemies? They're actually coming from this direction. Okay, so let me see if I can do something here. Bear in mind that these are only caravan units, so we're probably not going to have too many difficulties dealing with them, but I kind of still want to be a little bit cautious, because you never know. There can be those rare times when you, when you attempt to do something and, try and fight a quite obviously less powerful enemy than yourself, and then all of a sudden you're on the ground eating some dirt, and that's it's not good. It's not good to be too overconfident in those kinds of situations. And I've seen many a time where I have been overconfident. I've seen other people be super overconfident, and it has literally come back to bite them. Most notably me, though. I generally tend to be overconfident when I'm facing a weaker enemy, and then all of a sudden, lance out of nowhere in the face, and I'm down. That's the kind of thing that happens. So hopefully we won't have that here. Seems like it's a pretty easy victory for us, although I am now getting shot. As soon as I say, oh yes, easy victory. Yeah, that's usually what happens. Can't see anything right now because of all the trees. And that's also something that I should probably mention. I actually reduced my field of view in third person. Because personally, what I was finding is that I was fighting in third person, as you do, with, sword and shield or something like that. And I was finding that the camera was a little bit too far away for my comfort, for my ability to actually fight decently. And as a result, it was actually making things much harder to actually hit people and judge distance in melee combat. So that's also a reason why you might want to consider that too if you're having some issues just like I was. Because being able to judge distance is basically one of the most important things that you can do in a game like this. Because obviously you're going to need to know the reach of your weapon, you're going to need to get familiar with it first, obviously, and then from there, you're going to have to make sure that everything is working correctly with how you're swinging and, so on and so forth. But anyway, I could take these guys prisoner. I guess I will take them prisoner because we could theoretically then donate them somewhere. That might be quite nice. But otherwise, I have 300 food. I guess I'll take some of their food just literally because I can and because it's there and I don't really want to waste it. And they have a lot of stuff, yeah. So, yeah, generally I have heard that having raids on caravans is really, really lucrative. So if you are, for example, a little bit earlier on in the game, so not where I am right now. Oh yeah, it actually did work. that is actually kind of fantastic. But yeah, so not where you are, you know, not where I am in the game, but wherever you are, if you've got some people still, you know, still there or whatever, then that would be a good way to go about it. So yeah, you would be able to, you know, raid caravans and so on, and that would actually make a whole bunch of sense. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to speed things up a little bit. I'm going to zoom out because we want to make sure that we don't get beset upon by the opponent. Aha, there's another army running around there as well, which is very nice. Okay, so let's build. Oh dear, hello. Svedorn is right there. We might want to be a bit careful with him. He might try to attack. Yeah, Kirislav? Are you serious? Kirislava and then Kirislav? Okay, I'm going to have to, yeah, leave this. But I'm hopeful that because we are doing it this way, we might very well be able to do something. Okay, so hello. Oh, it seems like... Nope, never mind. I won't be able to help them. Unfortunately. Do you think I can actually fight those guys? I'm not sure, because they most likely have very good units, and they are going to outnumber me like no one's business, so... It's, maybe not the best idea. Oh, hello. Oh, yes. You have been caught out, sir. And I will be taking you down. Oh, yes. There we go. It seems like I have literally just drawn the Vlandians into another war, which is actually not what I intended. I was actually trying to do a tactic that is very efficient and very effective, actually, from Warband. And that tactic, obviously I know that the games are different now, and, you know, generally things are, you know, very different, you know, between each other. But the point is that what you can do in Warband, if your faction has made peace, then you can go off as kind of like a rogue lord, and you can actually cause a bit of unrest with the opponent, and you can actually cause them to lose relation with you, just a small amount. And then that small relation loss, just by attacking some villagers or whoever, caravan, you know, whatever the case may be, then you're going to be able to basically attack their fiefs without having to worry about being... Well, you yourself are taking all the risk. That's the point. Because generally what's going to happen then is that, you know, enemy lords will attack you, but they will not be attacking your faction's fiefs. So it generally tends to give you a bit of an advantage in that respect, because what you can then do is you can capture enemy fiefs, and those fiefs can then be basically immune to enemy attack, because of course they're part of the faction that is actually at peace with the enemy, and they're not yours. So if you see what I mean, and if I've actually explained that correctly, then basically it is all about you being able to attack, but the enemy not being able to attack you back. And obviously, I would assume that that has been changed in Bannerlord, because, let's face it, that's a very powerful... I guess you could call it an exploit. Or a clever manipulation of game mechanics. I guess that is the definition of an exploit of some kind. But yeah, it is kind of like that. So you can do that, but obviously it then just... I feel like it adds to the whole rogue lord kind of roleplay, if you wanted to roleplay as something like that. You know, an evil lord that will do whatever, you know, whatever they desire. That's the kind of thing that sometimes I try to go for, because it is actually quite effective to take a castle from somewhere, and then that castle cannot be attacked by the opponent, because, you know, your faction is at peace with them. But anyway, there's a nice victory for us. And if I have drawn the Vlandians into a fight, then I think we might have some issues, because... oh, this guy's actually an ex-Sturgian, so we will be executing him. Yes, we will be doing that. And do I have the opportunity to take a couple of these? I might be able to take a couple. I think that's it. Yes, I think that is actually it. Okay, well, let's just take the rest. Well, we'll take that. And, oh yeah, that actually reminds me. Someone did say that their time with smithing has been very illuminating, and they basically have said that the smithing is just not very good at the moment. So it's kind of a waste to level it up, apparently, which is kind of sad, to be honest. I actually quite like it. I think it's a lot of fun, but unfortunately, if it means that you're not going to be able to do anything with it at the end of the whole grinding away thing, then that's going to be kind of sad. These looters, I'm going to let them go because I can't level them up. I don't have the disciplinarian trait. So that obviously puts paid to that. Let's get a Sturgeon Berserker. We can get Imperial Caravan Guards. Why not? Tamir will be executed. And, there we go. I like watching the animation sometimes because I think that they've done a really good job with the weight behind the weight behind the weapons. I think that's really fun. Anyway, it seems like Vartar is going to be attacked, and we need to do something about that, don't we? So, hello. Oh, Mitsui, get out of here, Mitsui. I don't need you here. Thank you very much. Gonna go and help Vartar then. And we are a little bit outnumbered, but not too much. We're okay. We are up against Svedorn as well, which is actually kind of amusing. But yes, anyway, let's attack. I'm thinking that we might, if we can, help every single vassal that is currently nearby to us. If we can help all of them, or try to help all of them whenever the opportunity arises, and then take the opponent prisoner, then we might very well be able to chip away at the combat strength of our opponent. And who knows, we might very well be able to pull off the most miraculous comeback that anyone has ever known, because let's face it, this game is very new, so obviously no one's ever known any comeback. So anyway, we'll see if we're actually able to do something with it. And what do they have here? So they got 10 over there, they got 10 cavalry going over there, and it seems like these guys are actually just charging in, so I guess I will literally just charge in my units as well, because they're all the way at the back there. And we will see if I can maybe not die. There we go, take the... Well, there you go. I got murdered. I got murdered by one of those brigands. I was about to say that these brigands don't seem that effective, but it seems like they actually did a pretty decent job right there. And it seems like we are actually losing a huge amount of units for some reason. Why are we losing so many units right here? Wait a minute. What are my people doing back there? Oh no. You know what? I'm actually going to try and retreat here. And then we might want to get the other army to come in. So I'm actually just going to leave this for a second. And we're going to get Hekar to come in. Yeah, there we go. There we go. He's actually assisting. Mitsui is now going to be pursuing me, as you can see. And we're very close by to enemy towns and things. So we are going to be victorious in this particular battle, but I will not be able to take these guys prisoner because I am just so low in HP, which really makes me kind of mad. But we could technically go into a battle with this. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we're going to probably do an auto resolve here, because this is all I can actually do, because I am literally just that low in HP. So I will just do an auto resolve. We might lose a couple of people, but that is the cost that I want to really do, because I would like to be able to take this guy prisoner, as you can see, and I think it is worth it. I think it is very much worth it to do this. And I guess I will take a Crusade Hunter. And is there anything else here that I can really take? Well, I could take some grain and maybe some hogs, but that is basically it. All right, so yeah, so we've taken that guy prisoner. So what we want to do is we just want to go and execute him immediately, just in case. Because here's the thing, I've actually found that when you take someone prisoner and you literally put them into your prisoner's hold or whatever, they're actually able to escape extremely easily, and it's actually quite unsettling, because you would think that because you place these guys in your castle dungeon, and I'm talking about, it's pretty hard to get out of these castle dungeons, and if their faction decides to mount a rescue attempt for them, then all power to them. They can do that if they want to. But on the other hand, it then makes it so that they escape just way too fast, in my opinion. They just seem to escape without so much as, flashing their eyelashes or whatever, It's just literally like that. Boom. Like that. Straight away. And they just literally are able to do that. And that's the reason why executions have been basically the only thing that I can really kind of do to impact the situation in a meaningful manner. Unfortunately, Mitsui now has an army that is 392 strong, but I'm very much hoping that we will be able to do something about that. I'm thinking that maybe what we want to do is, once we are a little bit more restored, we could very well go and try to be a little bit bait and switchy, if you know what I mean. So basically, I'm saying that we can go over to a castle that is very lightly defended. We can try and take that, try and draw a bunch of the very, very high-level armies away from the front lines and give the Vlandians... As you can see, look at this. The Vlandians actually did take a bunch of them prisoner. Fantastic. Did you see that? Oh, yes. That's very good. That's what we need. We need that kind of thing to happen. I'm actually going to donate some... Actually, I don't want to donate troops to the garrison. I would actually like to go into the dungeon and donate prisoners here, because I don't want to really be running around with a huge amount of prisoners. I will take the various amounts of units that I can and try to convert them a little bit, but otherwise that will be that. There we go, and I'm now at 80%, so I think I'm pretty good to move on, and we'll see if I can maybe do what I thought. Oh, hello. Radahn. Okay, yes, I will just wait for you to be done with the looters, and then I will pause immediately. There we go. Oh yes, you are mine, Radahn. You are mine. Okay, so I don't know who this actually... Oh yeah, he hates our guts. You can see that so completely clearly. Yeah, I mean, obviously, wouldn't you? I mean, let's put ourselves in his shoes. You know, he is up against a guy that has literally executed numerous very famous generals in all kinds of different factions, all kinds of different cultures. And what do you think about that guy? You know, you think he's an evildoer, don't you? You think he is an absolute scoundrel. And that's exactly the reason why this guy hates us. And why he apparently hates my horse. That was not very nice of you, sir. I will be eliminating you, don't worry. Come back, and I will show you my pointy stick. Yes, I have a very pointy stick, as you can see. Alright, so anyway, this is... Oh, hello, he actually did come back. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. But whatever the case, I will be taking him down, or... No... The ragdolls. Ah, the ragdolls. So hilarious. Okay, yeah, but this is pretty much a foregone conclusion. I don't really think we need to worry too much about this. And now I'm just going to do some massive damage, as you can see right there. I think I pretty much hurt one of my own units, because that is to be expected, isn't it? Every single fight, gotta throw a throwing weapon into one of my own units. It's just tradition. It's tradition by this point. You know, it's one of those things. You've just got to do that. It's the Barney Beartilt way, apart from falling off a bunch of ladders and killing himself through falling damage, and also getting lanced in the face, and also drowning, and, well, a variety of different other ailments. But we won't get into those, because maybe they'll add those kinds of things later on, where you can actually drown. I haven't actually gone into water that deep yet, but it's happened. It's happened in Warband, that's for sure. Anyway, there you go. Pretty easy victory. We're going to take him prisoner, of course. That is just our doctrine at the moment. That is literally our prime directive, and we are certainly going to be interfering in every single thing that we can. So I'm just going to take those prisoner as well. Having some more influence is no doubt going to be quite useful for us. And I guess I will take the food. Is it going to weigh me down? Let me actually just have a look here. Where's my speed? Oh, wait a minute. There's my speed. Okay, so you can see here that we have too many horses right now. We've got a couple too many, just a very small amount too many. So I think I'm going to get rid of a couple of desert horses. Yeah, as you can see, I've got to get rid of a couple more. And there you go. Okay, so now that's absolutely fine. So now we've eliminated the herd deficiency right there. And cargo is within capacity of about 0.04, so I suppose that's all right. But I'm not going to be taking any more just for the sake of making sure that we are still moving around relatively quickly. And I'm going to go back to Toby Castle here as well. And we will place these prisoners in there. But yeah, I think my strategy might very well work quite well. Because you can see here, this guy's clan was literally destroyed. So now we no longer have to even worry about the fact that his clan hates me, because it's no longer even in the game, you know? Because it's like one of those memes, you know? They can't hate you if they're dead, you know? That's the kind of thing that's going on, you know? So I'm thinking that we might very well be able to have a bit of a distraction on our hands. And I'm thinking we might be able to do that. So I'm thinking we're going to go probably over to one of these castles, relatively far away from the front line and out of the way. And I will attempt to besiege it. If there's only 111 defenders, we might very well be able to take this. But who knows? That's the thing, who knows? So let's try and build this. And I think we could probably do it. If I actually follow through with building, you know, battering ram and siege towers and so on and so forth, I think we might actually do all right. But it really just depends on how our lords are going to be doing in the meantime. Because if I can distract the opponent a pretty considerable amount, I'm actually going to save here real quick because I'm a bit worried about the vote that is just coming up. So let's just, do you want to resolve the citizenship decision? I'm not entirely sure what this is all about. Let's have a look. 0.5 loyalty per day to settlements that have the same culture as their owner clan. Right, I don't really care about this one, to be honest. Not that much, so I'm just going to spend a little bit of extra. And just get a little bit of relation and reduce our relation with our father-in-law. He's obviously not going to like me that much, but we still have plus 30 with our wife's clan, which is actually all that really matters, I suppose, even though she's now part of our clan, so I guess it doesn't matter either way. But anyway, we're just going to try and build all these things, and once we have built all these things, then we will be heading in. We will literally just be going straight on in, and, oh, hello. Yep, so there you go. This is exactly what I think is very much worth us doing, because this guy's nowhere near going to be able to catch up to me. I'm moving at 4.6, he's moving at 3.6. I'm one whole speed faster than he is. This guy, he's 4.5, I'm 5.9. There's no way that he can catch me either. And these guys are literally not doing anything except chasing me. And I think that this is a really good tactic for us. Apart from the fact that all the Botanians just got eliminated in one fell swoop, which is not exactly great. But yeah, if we can continue to do this and literally distract them in such a heavy way, and that's the thing, I am hoping that I will be able to distract them enough so that we might very well be able to take something, either because they let me do it, because they obviously, you know, are just like, oh, it's that guy again, just leave him, just let him take something, you know, talking about Barney, of course. And on the other hand, they might not let us take anything, and in which case they're going to have to send a pretty large army to deal with us. And I think that that is going to give the Vlandians a pretty reasonable chance. And we'll see whether that actually works. 196. I'm looking for a decent castle for us to take, because here's the thing. If we are actually able to... Oh, no. Yeah, that's the thing. Whenever there's an army that's formed, my guy just literally wants to run over and join the army, which I gotta say is probably not the best use of our time, considering we are actually looking to be a bit of a distraction here. 155 defenders. We might be able to take this. Now, bear in mind that if they do leave me completely alone to do what I want with this castle, and I'm actually able to take it, then I might very well be able to defend it against a massive army that comes in. And we might do all right at that point. So I'm not entirely sure. But we'll try, you know, we'll try. Because if there's a big army that's coming along here, that big army is going to take a massive amount of time to get back to the front line. And that's hopefully, as I've said, going to give the Vlandians a little bit of extra breathing space. Right, so as you can see, all of these Vlandians are actually being taken prisoner. I'm actually going to attack this particular vassal because I'm thinking that they're going to be waiting for someone to assist them, and it would be a good idea for us to take them out before that actually happens. Because if, as I've said, if we're able to continue eliminating these vassals, their combat strength is going to dwindle and dwindle and dwindle, and hopefully, in the end, we will actually have a chance of coming back in this war. And, well, it's very much just a case about us being extremely careful, very, very cautious, but also very viciously aggressive when we need to be. You can't just, you know, lay back and be defensive as much as possible. You have to also take those opportunities when they arise. And that's exactly what I'm going to try and do. But Obviously, it really just depends. I only have a limited amount of units. I don't have a garrison anymore because obviously my castle was taken. And yeah, it's going to make things much more difficult to deal with. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And this is actually a Khuzait Khanate defector. So I'm pretty happy about eliminating this because fighting field battles against Khuzait is going to be very hard. Where are the enemies? They're actually coming from over there. Alright, well, we can just actually move my forces over there then. And we can get ready for the inevitable. These guys are literally just running around. Do you see this? Look at this horse archer. Ah, what a scoundrel he is. He's not actually able to do that much, amazingly enough. Look at that. Alright. Well, not too bad. Okay, so why are some of my cavalry back there? That's kind of weird. Huh. Ah. They're actually horse archers. Wait a minute. I thought I was targeting the horse archers with this. Okay, so apparently there's two different ones. There's horse archers and there's cavalry. I actually didn't realize that that was the case. I thought that horse archers and indeed cavalry were grouped together in the same composition, but apparently that's not the case. So I guess we will now just charge everyone in. And we will see what we can do. This is, I think, the leader. Oh, no, never mind. That's just an Imperial... Oh, wow. Imperial Elite Cataphract unit that we were able to kill very easily right there. Very nice. And let's just continue doing massive amounts of damage. Or at least try to. That's literally all I need to do. Just try and get that morale damage, you know? Because these guys are all running. They're literally all running away, which is exactly what we want to have. And I think that is indeed a victory with very minimal casualties. And if we can continue doing this, the main problem with the Southern Empire here is the fact that they just have such incredible power. And yeah, brute strength is certainly their main strength at this point. And their main laurel that they rest on, basically. You know, they're literally just resting on the fact that they have so many units and they're just capable of fielding massive armies. But if you can separate those armies and you can try to, you know, employ a couple of, shall we say, guerrilla tactics, then you might actually be able to do something like this, like what I'm doing, where we're actually able to defeat these guys in even combat on the fields of battle and just dwindle them down again and again and again. And eventually, we might very well have an opportunity to achieve some kind of victory. I'm going to execute. Boom. All right. So there's a couple of people that we can, of course, get to join me and basically have no more space now. And I don't really want to take these prisoners either. I'm actually not going to be taking these prisoners, even though they would sell for a lot of money. They would give me a decent amount of influence and stuff like that. But 48 prisoners is a lot, and I kind of need all of the speed that I can get my hands on, to be honest. Because if I don't have that, I'm going to get caught, and I will get killed very fast. So that's the thing with that. Is there anything else here that I really want to take? Well, we could take some more food, I suppose, because being so far away from any friendly target whatsoever, any friendly castle or a town or anything like that, it's going to take a heavy toll on our food stock, and it's going to be pretty harsh. Okay, there doesn't seem to be anything else here that I really need. Okay, there we go. Let's just move on. All right, so we have been able to do that. Let's take a look at the kingdom, actually. And let's take a look at diplomacy and the Southern Empire. Oh dear. We have 1,400 strength remaining. I think that this is the end. Well, not of this series yet, because as I have been told, there might very well be an opportunity for civil war, but I'm not entirely sure if we can make that happen. Anyway, stay tuned to see what happens next. I'm hopeful that we will be able to maybe, just maybe, be able to incite some kind of civil war. If Vlandia does fall, it looks to be kind of, well, kind of conclusive now. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.